In the news today for April the 18th, 2014. So I wanted to tell you, it's just really crazy. We had the healthcare decision day and nobody from outside the community showed up. But that's okay, because it's probably because a lot of y'all are working, so that's understandable. But we were hoping that you would communicate this to people that were retired. I thought I made that very clear in the video. I thought it was very clear the way I speak, so I don't know where the language problem was. To tell people who are retiring or people that you know that may be retiring that could take advantage of the programs that were offered on Wednesday of this week. But hopefully next year when we do it again, you'll have time in your calendars to be able to tell people about the program, and you'll be able to come here and check some of the stuff out. Nancy did say in the letter that people were invited outside of the community, but then she was sitting there telling me that she'd rather not have nobody in the outside the community come, because it's really for the people in the community. I said, well, I'm like thinking, well, why would you write in there saying that people outside the community, friends and family, can come on the letter, but then say something else? So that's a little messed up there. So anyway, that's basically how that went. And of course, recertification is going on. I had to do that, and I had to deal with the county with renewing for my insurance for the waiver and for SNAP benefits. I had to fill that out. It's a annual pilgrimage, that's what I call it, and a lot of paperwork to do during this month. Plus recertification to renew my lease, as it happens around in April, and it goes through on August the 6th is when it usually renews. It's in August, but they usually like to do it 3 or 4 months ahead of schedule. That way it's through by then, but that happens every year around about this time. And everybody, it's like that here. Whenever they move in, it's usually like 3 or 4 months before they move in is when they have to recert. And so that's how they do it with everyone that lives here. And according to the management here, Nancy O'Donnell said that there's a year to 3 year wait to get in here. There's a 1 to 3 year waiting list to get in here. When I was here, when I moved in, it was only 6 months to a year. So now it's 1 year to 3 years. So apparently this place must be a pretty popular place, and there's always people applying to get in here. And there is a waiting list, a pretty long waiting list. So if you do apply, or if you have applied somebody to move in over here at Harbor Square, don't get discouraged, however, because the waiting list is a very long list from what I understand. So, and you can't really make deals with the landlord or pay them or bribe them, because they don't make deals like that. And they don't have people move in here for political reasons either. You basically are on the list, and when your next one is in line, then you get called. That's pretty much it, simple, because they don't do any special privileges or perks for anyone living here. So that's based on how it is when you get chosen to be selected to move in here. And of course, people have been asking, is it like a Section 8 to live here? Yes, it is. Voucher, it's like that, but it gets renewed through HUD. It's called HUD, Urban Housing Authority, and what they have is called HUD assistance or housing assistance through HUD, and that's how that happens. So if you live here in this area and you're looking for a place either here in Ashland, they have what are called government subsidized housing. That's what this is. So if you're able to live over here, you would have to go and apply at these complexes. Now, there are vouchers, but they're handled through independent living. You can go to Resources for Independent Living. That's located in Richmond, Virginia, because they don't have a Hanover branch here anymore, because I went out. They closed that business. They closed that down last year in April. And of course now there's no independent Resources of Independent office in this area. But however, they still do service this area. You just have to go through the Richmond office. And if you want to find out more information, just go to resourcesforindependent.living.gov on the computer, and you can find out where they're located. Or do a search on Google, and just do it through Google now and say Resources for Independent Living, Richmond, Virginia office, and their number will come up, because I don't know the main number to call. So you can look that up. If you need help, like with electricity for cooling or heating assistance coming up, you need to call your local social services office, depending on where you're located, and you just call them and ask for, if you're in crisis, you're getting ready to have your power turned off, or if you're applying for to renew your SNAP or TANF or food stamps benefits, which is SNAP now, it's called SNAP benefits. You just call your local social services office along with your Medicaid waiver to pay for Medicare. You need to call them to renew that if you missed your renewal, or if you're trying to renew it for the first time to get on the program to see if you qualify. Income is a requirement with all these federal programs, so make sure that you are within, call them up to find out, or go on the website, go to social services, whatever your county is, /Hanover .gov, and you can go on the website if you're in Hanover, or you can call their offices. Their office for Hanover County or for Ashland, Virginia is 365-4100. And you just get the operator, and you can just tell them what you're calling them about, and they'll connect you with the right person. That's for the Ashland, Washington Highway office. Now they do have a Hanover Social Services office that's here and located in Mechanicsville, Virginia too. It's new. It's just been here within the last year or so, and I don't know the numbers of that, but you can find that out on the web. If you're living here and you're in Hanover and you're looking for that and you need that type of services. Otherwise, there is also the Goodwill has a place where you can use their computer for free to find work if you don't have access to one, or you don't have a smartphone where you can access that as resources. And they even have Virginia Employment Commission that's also located off of Bell Creek Road, and it's in Mechanicsville, that will also help you find jobs and let you use their computers and print out stuff for free and check your email and all that stuff while you're there. And you only have, I think you only get about a 2-hour time to use it. So if you have to do a lot of stuff for, Virginia Employment Commission, you can go there. It's another resource here in Mechanicsville. They also have, if you're looking for food and you need food, Hanover Friends Evangelical Church is a good resource. They have food every Tuesday. You can go there every week, starting at 10 a.m. It's 10 a.m. And they have a morning service where they feed you spiritually, and then afterwards you can shop freely and get your food. They usually have a plethora of food. They have cakes and meat, chicken, vegetables that are fresh or maybe a day old, but they're still good. You can still use them. Fruits, canned food, sometimes they have their goods, and even bread and that sort of thing. And I did say meats, and they do have fish there that you can get that's fresh. So most of the time, it's a good place, good people, and a great place if you're looking for a church to go to, and not for the food ministry, but to go as a member. If you're looking for a church, go to Hanover Evangelical Church. And of course, if you're looking for that kind of church, or you go to New Hunter Church of Christ, I work there during the week to watch for sex offenders. Yes, I do that undercover. And, so those people that are known, they know I do it. So if they do come, they will be spotted. And because I do check their faces on a website, it's on the federal website to check who's there and who lives in the area. And we base it on who comes in there. And we've had a couple of people come in there, and they've been escorted away from there by the police. But most of the time, it's a pretty safe experience for you and your children. And, of course, with me there, it ain't not going to happen to you or your children. So we'd like to have you come. And it's a good place to come to get your food and to get your canned products as well. And it's every Tuesday morning starting at 10 a.m. You can come later on for the food, too. What they do is a lottery. It's not like a lottery like you get tickets, but they call it a lottery. But it's where they shake up a can and your number's in there. They pick a number and they call names on that sheet. And then if you come after 10:30, then they do because you missed the service. If you come later on after the service, they put you on these blue sheets, and there's no lottery. They just call you by the number of what sheet you're on, in the order that they were called after the numbers were called from the people that came earlier for the service. That's pretty much how they do it. And then there's also free healthcare clinics. Shady Grove has a healthcare clinic at certain times when they meet. And then there's also and also other churches do it too. Free dental screening, blood care, some lab tests. But you can't get this health care if you have insurance. If you don't have insurance, then you can take advantage of it. But if you have health insurance, you cannot take advantage of these services. So that's something to take note. So if you already have insurance, you need to go through your doctor. Use it, go through it that way. But if you don't have insurance, then you can use the health care programs that are here. And they do dental checkups, blood work, some X-rays. They also do lab work, and they also do eye exams and that sort of thing. So that's just some of the resources that are offered here in Hanover County, in Mechanicsville, where you live, if you're looking for those kind of services. And I hope this kind of helps you out a little bit. Sorry about that. I didn't have the numbers for some of these things, but you can look those up on the internet, like I said. So anyway, this is just some of the resources in our area, and just local news is what we could call this, in the news local in Hanover County, Virginia. So if you're looking for schools, you can go on the schoolboard.gov site. Ashland is the school board headquarters for Hanover, and they'll give you all the schools. And if you're looking for a certain area where you want to live, you can go on there, and it lists all the schools there. It tells you all about the wonderful programs that they offer for your kids, whether they're in elementary or middle school or high school grades. If you're looking for a high academic achievement school, a lot of them in Hanover County are that. They're rated number 1 in the nation, and they really do have a real high educational program here. High school, middle school, and elementary. They've got good Christian teachers, and a lot of them are Christians and born-again people, and they do teach a lot of things that a lot of counties and a lot of areas do not. So if you're looking for a place where you can learn about conservative values and learn about, where they still do the Pledge of Allegiance in class, and where they do a lot of things like they did when I was going to school, and where they sing still some Christian songs in the choirs, move to Hanover County, because we still do a lot of those things that were, what we used to do when we were in school. And if you're looking for something where it does all the values and they're conservative and they teach the real values of creation, if your child doesn't want to learn about evolution, they don't force it down your throat. You can opt out of some classes. Sex ed, if you don't want your children taking sex ed in the 4th grade, you can opt out of that and take another class in place of it, an elective. They do that. So you do have flexibility as parents in the classroom. And also as a student, as you get older, like in high school, you're able to make some decisions too about what classes to take and which ones you don't want to take. Opt out, you can take something else in place. So, there's a lot of flexibility in Hanover County. It's a wonderful place to live, wonderful place to build a business, and it's a wonderful place to grow a family, and a wonderful place to go to church. And there's great people out here, good policemen, and there's just a whole lot of good things out here in Hanover County. It's just a wonderful place. And nobody paid me to say this, but it is a good place. It's just free publicity for Hanover, but it's really true. We have a great place here. And I can't stress it anymore. They have parks here, too, where you can take your family, like Hanover Parks and Recreation, and they have a lot of historical parts here, where war grounds were fought, where wars were fought, and where, the first school, not first school, but they had the 5 Mile Battle here in Hanover County. And I'll just name one of the sites, but there's many historical sites in and around Hanover County where wars, and where you can come and visit and take your family to spend a day, just to talk about and just relive the history and the historical accounts of what really happened there so long ago that has a big part in our history and in our lives today. And hopefully it won't come to that again, as a reminder that we can solve things a lot more than just with war, but war is always what happens. And it is a very much part of our history of this country, but it's the last resort, the last recourse. But hopefully we can solve things through normal, legal, and peaceful means. So anyway, this is Michael Silva's InfoWars for Hanover County, and this is for the news for local resources in Hanover County for April, the 17th, I think I said. No, it's the 18th, 2014. I'll see you tomorrow with another update, or maybe later on today. Depends on what breaks out, news-wise. News Desk, local news segment. Subscribe down below and tell us what you know. See you.